Tūhawaiki was a Ngāi Tahu rangatira who lived on Ruapuke Island. He was a warrior, a businessman, a politician. From the late 1820s, Ngāti Tahu chief Rauparaha and his allies attacked Ngāi Tahu. They were well armed and trained in musket warfare, and Ngāi Tahu were outgunned. Kaikoura, Kaiapoi, Ōnawe and Te Taipōtini were all attacked. Thousands were killed, injured or displaced. It was up to southern Ngāi Tahu to organise the fight back. Tūhawaiki's men had plenty of muskets and were keen to get stuck in. Tūhawaiki himself had a 5-shot revolving rifle, cutting edge for the time. In 1833, Taua Iti, a war party of 350 warriors on 6 double-hulled waka, set out on a 1,000-kilometre voyage to drive out the enemy. Hearing that Te Rauparaha was going to Rauparaha to harvest ducks, Ngāi Tahu rushed to set an ambush. When Ngāti Tahu arrived, many of them were killed and Te Rauparaha narrowly escaped capture. Tūhawaiki, the innovator, mounted cannon on his waka. He also started using whaleboats on his raids against Ngāti Tahu, who eventually withdrew from the Ngāi Tahu takiwā. Tūhawaiki learned a lot from his uncle, Te Whakataupaka. When Te Whakataupaka died in 1835, Tūhawaiki took over as leader of his people. He introduced cattle to Ruapuke and constructed a European-style house. He built up his own fleet of ships, among them the Marianne, the Levin and the Perseverance. He also established a whaling station at Bluff. Tūhawaiki spoke excellent English, and Pākehā were impressed by his sharp business mind. He also looked the part. When on business, he wore a suit and a greatcoat, smartly accessorised with a pocket watch and chain. Tūhawaiki was involved in many land sales and made regular trips to Australia to trade with the British colony there. He met with the Governor of New South Wales, George Gipps, to discuss an agreement with the British. In 1840, Major Bunbury arrived at Ruapuke on board the HMS Herald. He wanted Tūhawaiki to sign the Treaty of Waitangi. Dressed in military uniform, Tūhawaiki added his name to the treaty before asking Bunbury to sign a document confirming Ruapuke Island belonged to Tūhawaiki. Bunbury didn't sign, but wrote an acknowledgement on the back of the document. In 1844, at the peak of his powers, Tūhawaiki drowned when his boat hit choppy seas off Paparoa Point near Timaru. In the same year he died, he spoke about the challenges his people faced. We are but a poor remnant now, and the Pākehā will soon see us all die out. But even in my time, we were a large and powerful tribe. We had a worse enemy than even Rauparaha, and that was the visit of the Pākehā with his drink and his disease. You think us very corrupted, but the very scum of Port Jackson shipped as whalers or landed as sealers on this coast. They brought us new plagues, unknown to our fathers, till our people melted away. Tūhawaiki lived during a time of great change. As a leader, he was intelligent, innovative, and charismatic. He's an inspirational figure who's still remembered and celebrated by the iwi today.